Okay.
Okay.
It's Tubi Tuesday. Another Tuesday, another Tubi. Because you literally can watch Tubi Tuesday. Every day, not just on Tuesday, all day. Marcus, you watch this every day, right?
Yeah, every day, man.
24/7. He watches it nonstop.
About that life.
Nonstop.
Nonstop.
Yeah. We're talking about a movie that Josh knows the director and the writer.
Yes, he wrote and directed this. Yes. Josh shout out to my friend. Him. Yeah, I'm friends with this guy. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton T. Clay is the director of this movie. So Carlton might be listening.
And this was a movie.
I just want to say if Carlton's listening, hey man, I appreciate you as a film director. I really do. And we're having fun. We want to watch more of your movies, especially because of this movie. So just letting you know.
This movie was crazy. And that's the whole point. So Pastor Thorne, the lust of the flesh, right? Is that what it's called? Man. Lust of the flesh. Marcus recommended this, and I was like, ooh, man. Okay. So.
Yeah. I didn't, because I know Carlton, and I didn't know he was a film director until later.
Wow.
So yeah. Carlton's been in a few of my animations, and he's the voice of a couple of characters he's done for me. I didn't know he's a film director. And so Marcus is the one that told me that Carlton was a film director.
Oh, wow. He has like 10 different movies on Tubi.
Yeah, he's constantly working. This dude works.
Yeah.
And Carlton is a really good what do you call it? Upstanding citizen kind of guy. He's like a real good person. And so I was like, well, he's not going to make anything raunchy. And then I watched Pastor Thorne.
Pastor Thorne is raunchy.
I thought this was going to be like a Tyler Perry type thing, but I was like, nope, definitely not. This is, one thing I have to admit there is, Carlton, he'll go there if Tyler Perry won't. He'll go there.
And Pastor Thorne went there. So let's jump right into it.
So
that's what Pastor Thorne did.
Yes, he did. So the movie starts off with Pastor Thorne like preaching a sermon. He's like he's reading from the Bible.
Right.
But then you also see him hooking up with this woman.
Yes.
He's by hooking up, he mean bucket.
Fucking. He's fucking this woman. And they clip back to him. Oh goodness. How long we gonna watch this scene?
We're not going to watch it for our audio listeners.
So yeah, they're having sex. And it turns out that the woman he's having sex with is not only not his wife, but she is the wife of the deacon.
Like head deacon of the church.
Yeah. Minister Nathan. Nathan Bridges.
That's him there,
yeah. And Nathan does not know what's going on. So that is how.
Got a clue.
No idea. He's just.
I think that's a wonderful introduction to Jacob Thorne, to Pastor Thorne, because it's like you see how he's two-faced and how he's a hypocrite kind of thing. Like he will
sleep with his head deacon's wife in front of him. Basically,
right. Let's just let you know what kind of a despicable person Jacob Thorne is.
Right.
So I thought that was a great introduction.
And meanwhile, he's getting head from his wife.
Head from the deacon's wife. Yeah.
But not only is he just
why you the head deacon
and sexually, whatever, he's also just a horrible pastor. Like he's like the very first conversation he has is like, what's the tithes? That's it. Or then
that's right. That's
and
right.
Then he's also like, I think he ends up getting it. Well, later on, he gets like an invitation to a church. He's like, how much they offering me? No, I can't do it less than that. It was like, goodness, this dude is like, I'm the head.
He's clearly
it's supposed to be this. How they treat their pastor. I'm the one that give all the money. Now, this is the problem is. There's people out there like that for real. He's not even exaggerating.
I think that's why Carlton wrote this movie like this.
I mean, Carlton got out. That's deep. Yeah.
I wonder if Carlton, and Carlton, if you're listening, I want to know. I wonder if he met or had a pastor like this, because that would be that's damn interesting. Exist.
They're out there. So yeah. So, but yeah, the idea though, the name, that's actually a pretty good name, Pastor Thorne. Because it's like a thorn in your side, thorn, like a thorn in your flesh type thing. So it's a really good name. But yeah. So
we also meet his son. Yeah, we meet his son, J.R. Jacob Jr. is a drug dealer, and he gets arrested.
Because he's the worst drug dealer I've ever seen. Like, dude, you're not built for that, man.
Yeah, he's a small kid.
I'm just saying his whole demeanor. Like, he's not built for that. Like, he ain't about that. He's just a smart ass asshole.
Annoying little spoiled brat. That's what he sounds like.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Pastor Thorne is rich, asshole. And he's divorced from his wife. Or his mother, his
JR's mother, yeah. So
he's like, "You're gonna stay with me because you don't know how to act."
Right.
And so
it's
like,
more
whatever,
like
Dad.
It's more like his little brother than his son.
I mean, he absolutely.
They look like they're the same age almost.
Oh goodness,
he does have a little aftershave, like you know.
Well, no, I believe that they were father and son. I kind of got that. I didn't think it was too much of a. I didn't think they were that close in age range or whatever.
We can talk about psychic. That's a whole nother.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah, that's a whole. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Anyway,
yeah. We also meet Jacob's wife, Leslie,
and she's just a caring, supportive woman that just wants to make sure that he's taken care of,
and want to make sure that her role in this movie, to me, she represents. She represents like balance, and she represents like trying to hold him accountable for like, look, you said you were in this because you felt compelled, you felt spiritually, compelled. Like, this is what you got to do for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, this is a calling of yours. And lately, you just been sounding like just a shrewd businessman, like you just sound like a hustler. You know what I'm saying? Something she called him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're on the outs kind of on this movie. Like, there's a lot of tension between them.
Yeah, there's definitely some tension. Movie. And so he's trying to sleep with her. And she's like, nah.
Because she just lost her baby. She was supposed to have a baby. She had a miscarriage, I believe.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And so he mad.
And I think it's a thing that they constantly go through.
Yeah,
I get the impression that it's not the first time.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And so she's not feeling confident. She's not feeling, sexy. She's not feeling womanly. Oh man, he says some horrible things,
evil things.
Definitely,
Do you remember?
Struck with me. She said, he said something about he blamed her not being able to have kids on her not having faith in him and how he's leading the church and being a doting wife to him or whatever. Like, that's the reason why. Mm-hmm. And it was like, dang, that personally sit deep with me. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
So there's nothing good about Jacob.
No.
Jacob is a horrible person. It's
beyond a horrible pastor.
This is one of those movies where
he's a horrible person. He's a horrible human being.
This is one of those movies when you're following the main character and they're so bad that you're like,
they're not.
Something bad gonna happen to them at the end. Like, this is one of those movies where it's like you can't root. There's nothing to root for him about,
at
all.
It's like, I don't even know how you can redeem this guy.
No, right. You cannot.
And he don't give a fuck. through the whole
And he's a
movie.
pastor. That's what's so messed up about it. It's like, wow, dude.
Jason, go to the scene where, well, don't go to it, but like you remember when, you know, he's saying all this to his wife, and then the girl comes in. What's her name?
The girl,
his friend, the girl that his friends dating. His
Kathy. Wait,
yeah.
Oh no, you mean his cousin? Oh,
yeah,
okay. So
cousin.
yeah. So his cousin comes in, and brings the girl that he's dating. That's what it was.
Right.
He brings her over.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, what's his cousin's name? I don't remember the cousin.
Sade is the girl.
Sade is the girl.
Yeah, Sade is the girl. Tony, I think, is his cousin.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
Tony.
he's the comic relief. There's always the comic relief best friend.
Yeah, he is.
You know,
Yeah,
comic
this movie's
relief
almost
happens
done like
between him and the son. The
Yeah,
son's pretty funny. The son's pretty funny too.
Yeah, he is in a way. I like
He's
the cousin
annoying.
a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I think Marcus, you said you didn't really like the cousin. I said it's Tony, right?
I didn't care for
Tony.
the cousin that much, but the second time I watched it, I appreciated him a little bit more. I appreciated his character more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Tony. I thought Tony was a breath of fresh air when I saw him. I was like, okay, he's cool. I found him funny,
But yeah, so he ends up he like the night before he was at a club and met this girl, and now he's like committed with her, and so he wants to bring her to,
because she
his
wants to
kids.
meet. She wants to meet him so bad. She heard about the church and wanted to meet Jacob really badly. And so Tony was like, okay, yeah, I'll introduce you to my cousin. Yeah, sure.
Because he's famous,
I don't know
so
what's
that's
going on.
That helps, but that helps him because he's a well-known pastor, celebrity pastor, so like it helps. The
So I wonder if it's
cousin
like a
get
mega
in good.
church.
Yeah, it's absolutely a mega church, and so it
okay.
helps the cousin to get in good. Be like, oh, that's your cousin. Yeah, I can introduce. So that gives him some like credibility with the girl.
Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of on the way to being a mega church. He wants to be a mega church.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
But it's taken over the goal of becoming a mega church has taken over his drive for what he does instead of him being compelled to
do the call-in thing. Because they show towards the end of the movie, they show his like how things got started with the flashback of him at a like a storefront type church and telling his wife like, hey, this is it. It's like, oh wow, so it's
I forgot about that.
Of things, and so he has that little flashback about things. So
yeah.
But
so then,
as soon as the girl walks in, he
decides, I'm gonna fuck that. I'm gonna stick myself.
All right, so
immediately he's
all right. So I'm gonna give. All right, so y'all say immediately, but I'm gonna give this guy a little bit of humanity.
No,
he took two breaths. And
Let
then
me
he
give him
decided.
This is what happened. He tries to have sex with his wife that night, and she says, I am not ready. And that's when he says all this stuff to her, like, hey, look, I really want us to do, we got to move past your that miscarriage. And, it says in the Bible that a man, wife must be with his, of course.
I hate when folks do that.
I hate that too. And so that's exactly what he does.
Use the Bible as a weapon to get sex.
That's pure.
It's a manipulation tool to get sex.
Yes.
Yeah. So he does that, and then and so since she says no, he texts Kathy.
Why he got the girl in the first place? Why he got her number in the first place?
Well, because he got the deacon's number. I don't know.
No,
everybody got everybody.
Oh, okay.
But he texts Kathy, who is the wife of the deacon. And, of course, Deacon is all like, well, who you texting? I thought you said your phone ain't working. Oh, it ain't working. It just messed up or whatever. So keep that in mind. But she says, but she's in bed with her husband. So she's like, I can't help you. And he's like, oh, I wanted to see you. So he decides to text Sade. Is that her name?
Sade, whatever.
Sade.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sade.
But so he texts her, and she's all like, they start sending pictures to each other and stuff. So he's
Why,
like,
he got her
like
number.
dick pics and
she she says to him at one point, like when they first met, that she like want to get to know him and study the Bible together and stuff like that.
Well, so
we all know
while
what
they're
study the
texting,
Bible mean.
right? And then so while they're texting,
The text continues.
Yeah.
So the text continues because he texts her at night when because he can't sleep with his wife, so he's trying to set up something for later. So the next day, while he's at the church
he's
office,
in front of his desk at the office. his assistant or the deacon or somebody comes.
Yeah, the deacon.
The deacon comes in there. He's like, "Yeah, boss. So, about those papers or whatever, about those, those new membership or whatever." And then he's
literally grabbing himself. He literally grabs himself in the church office in front
of the deacon with no shame, and he always be biting his lip like that. Like
they are
like
practically jacking off in front of him.
It wasn't like the deacon walked in while he happened to be doing this. No, they were talking at first. They were having a conversation. He's on his phone, and then while he's in the middle, of the
literally talking.
In the middle of the conversation, he grabs his hand and just rubs his crotch.
Right there in front of the deacon, just sitting there rubbing himself.
Yeah,
while
man,
looking
I like
at his
this
phone.
podcast. You know what I'm saying? But,
now Marcus is doing
so
that.
Inappropriate.
Like, what the hell is going on right now?
Have some restraint. Calm down.
Have respect for me. I don't want to be around. Let me get out.
My goodness. Close your door for a second. Like, oh my goodness. Nothing.
So there's a story going on with the deacon. So there's a story going on with the deacon after he leaves the office. The deacon's name is Nathan. Nathan receives a phone call from his on his wife's phone because he took his wife's phone because she said it was broke. So he was like, well, I'm going to take it to get it fixed. And he gets this phone call from the doctor that says that his wife is pregnant.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot about that.
And then it stops right there.
It stops right there, yeah.
Negatively.
He's like, what?
He just reacts negatively, and we'll keep it there.
That's all we know. Yeah. Right. That's all we know.
But, I mean, you shouldn't. A couple things. The doctor wears the stethoscope correctly. Talk about another movie that dude did not do. But no, you're not supposed to tell that kind of information over the phone. I guess like because it's like she was all like, "Oh, you didn't know?" Like it was like revealed. Oh, well, congratulations. Like I don't think that was. I feel like that's not appropriate when you like have somebody else. How do you know it's actually her husband that answered?
Wait a minute. Why is she wearing the stethoscope at the desk?
Because she's a doctor.
To show that she's a doctor.
You got to know that she's a doctor. Yeah,
right. Just like when you're a painter, you hold a paintbrush in your hand so everyone can know that you're a painter.
Oh man. But yeah.
Otherwise, how else would you know she was a doctor? Anyway.
And that's a nice house.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, that's because the other plot we didn't also mention was JR met this young girl. That's like the daughter.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, she's like the daughter of
a head deacon lawyer person that has a lot of money.
Yeah, that puts money into the church and stuff.
Like a judge or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, she was way out of his league.
So yeah, he's trying to holler at her. And I think his dad was like, "Don't mess with her. She's the daughter of such and such and such and such. I need to."
Yeah, but JR is but JR's a slimy person himself, like father, like son. And JR tries to sleep with her, and she's like, she's not ready. So he's like practically about to rape her until I think they're at Jacob's house when this happens.
Yeah, because
Jacob comes in.
It starts off okay, where like they start off like a normal person, like, "Oh, show me around town, and get to know you. Let's go on a date." So they actually were doing things like normal, and then he just goes
super
too
weird.
far. Yeah, he's just like,
yeah, of course.
yeah. So he's like basically tries to rape her. No, not basically. He tries
to rape her.
To rape her, and she like somehow gets off.
Well, that's because Pastor Thorne walks in.
Yeah,
because it's at their house. It's at Pastor Thorne's house when this happens.
Yeah, so that was yep. So he stops it.
Yeah. So somehow, all right, we gotta get to the scene where Jacob hooks up with Sade. I forgot what happened. Oh, she just shows up at his house, don't she?
Yeah, well, she said because earlier they were texting about him parting her Red Sea.
Oh my goodness! Yes, right.
Oh, and she ends up in his bed. Oh, so how she get? Yeah, so she's in his bed,
in his house.
Yeah, in lingerie in his bedroom,
in his bed.
He don't say nothing. He just like, all right, come on,
let's go.
I'm down.
It'll take him 2 seconds.
He don't be. I thought he was gonna react like, "How'd you get in my house? What are you doing? My wife could be here." He's just like, "I'm about to fuck this." That's how he reacts.
He ain't had no qualms.
Immediately, I don't even think he said nothing. He did. Oh, he do ask how you get in my house.
He's like, I don't care. I still want to fuck you.
That's all that matters.
Like, I don't care if it's who's a very beautiful woman that I'm in love with. If it's some girl in my house, I'm a single man. I'm not married. But if I came into my bedroom and saw some, I'm gonna say Halle Berry, even though
would you really ask? How did you get in my house?
Let's say Nicole Bahari, because I love
good and well. You would not be
Nicole
asking
Bahari.
No questions.
I would be like, how'd you like who? I would be so confused. I would honestly.
It would be the same question, different tone. Hey, how'd you get in my house? Oh my God, it's you.
Oh man! Wow.
Well, I'll put it this way: if it's some girl I met earlier and I was texting and then she's in my room,
now that's creepy.
Yeah, I'll be like, "What are you doing here? You should not."
Can't talk about a famous person, but yeah, somebody
that I met before. Even if I found her attractive, I'd be like, you should not be here. Why? Yeah. How? And why are you in my house? That's not cool."
Exactly.
I'll be very afraid. I wouldn't be like, "Yeah, I'm about to fuck you," but that's what Pastor Thorne does.
Yes, he does.
And Sade takes away the condom from him because he was going to put a condom on, and she's like, "No,
yeah, I forgot about
keep that in mind."
Yeah.
So I guess he fucked her on his lunch break because he said, "I gotta go back to the church."
Yes, that's.
I just came home to make a sandwich and tried to get some pussy instead. Get a pussy sandwich.
You need to put a disclaimer on this. Anytime you watch, this is Tubi. This is what Tubi does. This is Tubi. So be prepared. Oh my goodness, this is not for children.
Has it ever been?
No. If you're a child listening to this, don't even start this episode.
Don't even stay away from Tubi if you're a child.
Stay away from this podcast.
Not for children. Oh man.
Man, that dude is a clean 35 years old.
Oh goodness. So there's a reveal. Are we getting there? Are we ready for
let's go.
Yes, let's get to the reveal. Are you talking about the first reveal about Kathy, the deacon's wife?
Mm-hmm.
So the deacon, I keep forgetting his name. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting his name.
That's okay. Nathan or something like that.
Yeah, Nathan. Nathan confronts Kathy and tells her that guess what? I found out you're pregnant. And she's all like, "Oh, yeah." She's like, "Yay, we're having a baby." Yeah. And he's like, "No, get off of me.
I can't have babies."
I was born with a birth defect that causes me to not have children. Because I bust out laughing when that happened.
That sounded like it was so squeezed into.
It's like, why didn't you? Why didn't you tell this is something you should know about somebody when you marry them. But
right.
I think they did know. I think she did know,
she did
but
not
she probably
know.
forgot.
That comes with the whole conversation of do you want to have kids?
No, he said I didn't tell you because you said you didn't want to have kids.
Oh,
So that's why. So it's like, so she didn't know. So she was like, oh well, oh congrats.
I would still
like,
be like, hey, lucky you.
Yep. Since you can't have kids, guess what? I can't. Since you don't want to have kids, guess what? I can't. So
right. Yes, it was that. Yeah,
so
you're right.
That would have been a conversation to have.
Right.
So,
definitely.
Yep.
It's fun to celebrate.
So so that reveal happens.
So the deacon's angry.
Yeah. Nathan's pissed off.
And you know who the daddy is.
Does he?
I don't know. He found out some kind of way.
No, I think he follows Kathy because he doesn't know. But I mean, if Jacob is grabbing his crotch in front of him, he should know. Yeah, it's kind of obvious. I don't know why he works with this guy. I don't know.
Why didn't he quit? Why?
So, don't somehow Sade comes back. Marcus is grabbing his crotch and looking himself on the podcast.
Oh, goodness.
He's pulling a Pastor Thorne on us right now.
Oh, my goodness.
So don't Jacob and Sade have sex again?
I don't remember.
Cause don't JR find him?
Well, that's the first time. The first time they're doing it, he sees them.
Oh, okay. So there's only the one time they had sex.
So he keeps that knowledge for himself just in case he needs to use it one day.
Right. I thought he was going to record him on his phone. That's what I thought JR was going to do. I thought he was going to record his dad.
Yeah, he could have because
it was kind of.
That's what I thought
weird.
he was going to do. He just sat there and was like,
he just looked. Yeah, he just looked and said, "Yeah,"
watching and grabbing his crotch.
Right. And the camera goes down and he's grabbing his crotch.
Like father, like son.
Get it, Dad. Get it, Dad.
Now this is taboo 4.
That'd be taboo 4 right there.
Oh man. But there was a point where they ended up getting into an argument for some kind of way, and he, reveals that he knows.
Yeah, what happened? He admits to cheating. Oh, no. The son says it. The son says it in front of the mom.
Yeah,
that's what it was. While they were arguing, and she's like, "What, is that true?" And he was like, yeah, that happened. I fucked her."
Yeah.
And so, she gets pissed off, of course, and I'm trying to remember because I don't think you rewind it fast back enough when they find out or when they have that argument. But they find out, she finds out that he cheated on her. He admits to it or whatever. But then the bigger reveal is that his wife Leslie.
Well, first of all, before that, they find out that the girl has an STD.
That's right. Because his cousin, who did the cousin tell? Does the cousin tell? Oh yeah, he calls Jacob up, don't he? He calls up Jacob and tells him like, "Hey man, I couldn't even have sex with her. She got chlamydia or something like that, or
something."
She
He's
had like something worse than that. She had like syphilis or some shit.
Syphilis or something. Yeah, Tony. Yeah. So cousin Tony calls him up. And is like, "Hey man, I can't even have sex." And Jacob freaks out like, "What?"
Because he remembers. So then they flash back to the point where he didn't use a condom, and so he's like, "Oh no, I can't believe this." So he's angry.
Yeah.
And then, a bunch of arguments. And then we find out.
Then there's another reveal.
It's like 3 different reveals.
This movie has a lot of gems in it. A lot of little hidden gems reveals. We find out that his wife, Leslie, met Sade earlier, like at a clinic or something. And and she hired her.
Yeah, she hired her.
She hired her to
everything up.
Yeah, she set everything up. She set her up to meet Tony at the club, and then would get Tony to bring her.
Wait, who set this up?
The wife
Leslie,
did.
his wife,
Okay.
Jacob's wife, Leslie.
Oh yeah, that's right. She suddenly,
Suddenly an evil mastermind.
right.
She's been the
Well, I wouldn't
mastermind.
say evil. I wouldn't say she's evil. She's like
She's
the
just
least
trying-
evil character in the movie.
But she set everything up. She was like, here's my husband. If you do these pieces, and he'll get he'll sleep with you. Right. You don't gotta.
She
you don't
knows.
gotta try too hard, and you don't gotta do not too hard. So she just kind of set it up.
I know his type, not me.
Yep.
or type anything that has a vagina that will have sex.
Right.
Basically, he don't care.
So
Sade is just
Yes.
doing her job. Poor
she
Sade.
gives her money.
Yeah.
And he gets syphilis.
He got syphilis. So I want to talk about these characters. So I want to reveal at the very, very end. So Jacob is talking with Kathy, who is the deacon's wife,
Yeah.
because she's like, I'm pregnant, and you're the father, and all that stuff, and then the deacon shows up with a gun, and he's like, yeah, I knew it, yeah, and he's like, don't do this, deacon, because I think at some point
He does
Jacob
a whole
is-
monologue and shit.
yeah, and I think at some point Jacob is trying to change his ways now.
He's
Yeah.
not.
No, he is. He's like reading the Bible and praying for forgiveness and stuff. He's like, now, because he got caught and stuff, he's trying to be better. So Kathy tells Jacob that, at the office, they're at the church office, and she runs up and tells him, and then Nathan shows up, the deacon Nathan, and he's like, I just found out now.
He shows up and he's all disheveled. He's got his clothes disheveled to show that he's evil now. He's troubled now.
Then he pulls
He's
out
not
a gun.
wearing his glasses.
Oh, right. He pulls out his gun and he shoots both of them.
Yeah.
And that's how the movie ends. Because I want to talk about this, because I was like, that's a double whammy for Jacob. He already got syphilis.
Yeah.
Right.
That's, consequences of his actions.
He had to live with the pain of knowing he had syphilis for a couple hours before being shot.
Right. So I was like, well, because I was like, I like the wife's plan of all setting this all up. I wish we found out when the wife found out, because she clearly knew the entire movie.
He's been crazy.
Yeah, that's the reveal that she knew the entire time. And I think that's part of the reason why she didn't. Right. I'm pretty sure that's why she wouldn't sleep with him. And I think she was planning to leave him. So I wish we gotten to see more about her, what was going on with her. Even though I do like how Nathan kind of just went crazy, but I think I don't know. I just didn't think. I mean, Jacob deserved to die. It's not like, I'm not saying I didn't want to see him get killed, but it was more.
He had consequences. He was the worst type of human.
See, I thought that maybe the syphilis would have kind of taken care of things.
That's what I thought. That's what they said. They said the syphilis was going to kill him. Like, maybe it's just saw months later and he's like, oh, I'm getting sick. Like, let him suffer. But it's like, I don't know. A gun is too quick.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, it just showed that it was just so much going on. So it's like, yeah, you actually could have ended it before that scene. This is the bonus, deleted scene that should have, because it's like, yeah, you could have ended it like that. But yep, because their baby's dead now too. It
was a little sin baby anyway. So
little sin baby. Oh man. So.
And JR is kicked out of the house and he's homeless now.
That's how
that's right. Yeah, he's shivering on the floor, on the cold floor, because he's homeless.
Right, because he
forgot about that.
I don't know why he didn't just go back to his mama. That's what I would thought he was going to do, because he kept saying, I should go back to mama. I should go back to mama.
Maybe that is.
I don't feel sorry for him.
So that's why I want to talk about these characters, because there's some characters I feel bad for and other characters I don't. I think this movie is kind of split in half with decent characters and god awful characters. I think the decent characters that I felt bad for, I feel bad for Tony, the cousin, because I was like, Tony was just a pawn. I feel bad for him, I
But
felt bad for
at least he
Leslie,
knew.
the wife.
At least he didn't sleep with her because she let him know.
Yeah. But Sade wouldn't let him sleep with her.
So she was good.
Yeah, Sade is
she
a little more.
protected him from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sade wasn't a bad person. She was just doing her
syphilis.
job. So I never thought of her. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That Tony found out that and he got mad, but nothing happened with that. It's just he just balls up his fist like Arthur, and then that was it.
He do kind of look like Arthur. So you said he found out that he found out what?
Talk about Tony.
Yeah, he found out that
he saw the
Just then,
ring.
he found out they was fucking.
Yeah, he found Sade's ring on the floor of Jacob's place.
But he's already dead.
Well, maybe it happened at the same exact time.
Oh, okay.
So it was basically, it was like no matter what, something was going to happen to Jacob. You know what it should have had? It should have had Jacob in the middle of the room, and you have Leslie on one side holding a gun, and then Tony on the other side holding another gun, and then Nathan holding a gun,
and JR's drug dealer boss holding the other gun.
And just had all these people holding guns toward Jacob.
And then it zooms down and Jacob's rubbing his crotch. Good night, everybody.
That's a perfect.
Oh man. Yes.